Hi, everyone. It's Leanne.
I'm Helaine,
Welcome to Step Into Next
where we move together from what was to what's next.
in business and in life.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to get into this conversation. Talk about moving from things. This is a
Yep,
good one.
this is a good one.
Yeah.
I just had a thought about our intro really quickly. Um, we step from one thing to the next in business and life, but business is part of life, isn't it? So maybe we should change that
Okay. Yeah.
next time.
Let's decide that next time.
That's my brainstorm.
That's a new goal for us,
Okay.
I think. But today's topic actually, let's talk about this. Okay, so you and I now have a new goal.
Okay.
We have a new goal together. And the goal
I see where you're going with this.
is that we are going to come up with a new or slightly adjusted opener, which I am very on board with, by the way. We should talk about the closer too, because things have gotten weird as of late. But
I'm super awkward when we open and close.
yes. So with that, we want to talk about a concept that has circled in a few episodes with a few guests and just is very prevalent out there. And I'll let you introduce it, but I do think that this is something that we all deal with, whether we know it or not.
Totally. I discovered this listening to Liz Moody's podcast. She's really cool because she used to be a reporter. So her podcast is really, really well researched and reported, even though she's super accessible. So she talked about this thing called the arrival fallacy,
Mm-hmm.
which is basically like you have a goal or a destination, whether it's a new job, getting engaged, buying a house, any millions of things.
I'll be happy when.
Exactly. It's I'll be happy when I get this thing. But apparently, all of the data and research shows most often the opposite is true.
You get less happy when you hit the goal.
Yeah, you aren't as happy as you think you were, and often you are less happy when you get that goal. Because essentially, so she says, and so the experts say, human beings are built for progress, not destination.
Yeah.
Which I think is super interesting.
I also think this is a very interesting topic. I not only experienced it firsthand at City Row, but also had this separate view that I had watched people reach the end and not be happy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was both striving for the quote unquote end of City Row and yet was not looking forward to it or knew that it was going to be like sub to my expectations. And so that helped me. We talk a lot, and there's my epilogue is called Joy in the Journey. But I really, really do believe that we're all struggling with this in some capacity.
And one part of it that's a little bit distinct, but the reason why I almost want to argue this a little bit is that sometimes you're like, people look forward to the end of something with relief or with joy, you know? So, like, getting to the end can actually be a wonderful thing. So, the arrival fallacy I get is like getting to a place, but I'm curious to know what you think about that and if you see like a distinction there.
Interesting. I have not thought about that. And I don't think that those things are necessarily mutually exclusive because maybe a new journey can begin.
Mhm.
So I do think that there are some times where a period that you're waiting to end ends. Like, people have kids. Like I can imagine you want to be over and then new chapter starts.
Yeah.
Great. A wedding, same thing. But people are also depressed after their weddings because
That's
they've been
true.
looking forward to it for so long. And then it's over in an instant.
Yeah, the arrival fallacy itself is kind of crazy because she cites people like Olympic gold athletes. And since the Olympics are
Yeah.
going on, the Winter Olympics are going on right now, you train and train and train your whole life, or a lot of your life. You win a gold medal as the echelon of what you can
Totally.
do in your athletic career, and then go into a deep, like a lot of Olympic athletes go into a deep depression. And we've talked a lot about generally athletes, retired athletes, that kind of thing in the liminal space and how some of them go on to do great things and some of them stay stuck in that middle. So that one definitely resonated.
Do we need to worry about the athletes?
I think we
Should we
should.
reach out?
We should.
Okay.
I think we'd be great coaches of athletes.
100%. And, it when we thought about the concept for step into next, I did, and I think you did too, pull on that as one of those massive transitions of, wow, I've been an Olympic athlete my whole life. Who am I without that? has been their thing
Mm.
for so long. I do identify with what Lindsey Vonn has gone through because that was her like peak. And who she was at her core was this Olympic skier.
Mhm.
And so, of course, they're going to try and find out how to take that next leap with that energy. I mean, it makes sense to me.
Yeah, it makes
I
total
mean,
sense to
I'm
me too.
devastated for her, but
I know. What do you think well, I guess we can talk about this off camera for her. I love her though, and I think she's amazing. Um, it's really interesting, when I was thinking about the arrival fallacy, I just Googled it to see who else talked about it, and there's something associated with it called hedonic adaptation, which is what once seemed like the ultimate achievement quickly becomes the new normal. So I think that's kinda
oh,
like, it's
interesting.
almost like you build a tolerance to something and you need drug addicts, they build a tolerance to a drug and they need more and more to get the high. I think that's an interesting part of the arrival fallacy because it's like people like us, we always talk about how we always are doing and achieving, and that can almost be an addiction, which I think is
For sure. And the goalpost keeps moving. I
Mhm.
identify with this. And one of the best books that was suggested to me to read as a founder was a book called The Gap in the Gain.
Mhm.
Because if you are someone who is a driver and you are always like looking around the corner for what's next, right? You're almost at the goalpost and you're like, okay, well, we're about to close the deal for the Series A, so I'm looking towards the B. Like
Mhm.
we haven't even turned the corner yet, and I'm already like, okay, well, how do we get there? What's next? And what that means though is that you're never happy, you're never satisfied because the goalpost is you are moving it as a driver. You are saying, "Oh wow, okay, we did the thing and now what's next?" Right? You're never done, right? You make your first million, when's the next 10? Right? Then when's the 10 becomes 100. Whatever that looks like, you're never done, you're never happy. And so the only way for those types of people to be happy and to kind of get into, the present, which is the antidote to this, is to measure themselves backwards.
Yes.
That's the only way, right? You're like, "Okay, well, Helene 5 years ago would be so proud. Helene 3 months ago, if she could know where we're sitting right now, would be, like, really calm and happy and excited and whatever it is." So you have to look backwards to be able to stay calm in the present.
Yeah, I love that because I was about to say, I'm actually not a super goal-oriented person, honestly, I'm not. I'm a doer and I like to keep moving. Like more of the doing, I really do. That's always kind of been my thing. Yes, I've achieved good things, but that's never been my objective. But I do sometimes feel like I'm not far enough or I haven't achieved enough or I haven't moved enough. So that applies too when it's like if I ever feel less than or I'm behind or something, it still applies to look backward and be like, "Look how far you've come."
It works for so many people
Yes.
as a moment of perspective, or I also find that the arrival fallacy can be related to keeping up with the Joneses
Yes.
in the sense of, "Oh my god, I can't believe this person has saved this much money or bought a house or is doing X, Y, and Z." And you're like, "Well, hold on a second. I got myself out of debt." Or look how far I am from where I was and how painful that was and how much work I've done, right? Or, oh, I need to lose another 15 pounds. And you're like, well, I'm healthier now and I do work out and my muscle mass. And so all of these pieces, like you have to continue to find the way to ground yourself in the moment of where we are today, but
100%.
still look forward a little bit. That's where I lose a little bit of like, okay, well, can I not look forward?
No, I don't necessarily here, I'll reframe it. It's not about looking forward, I think it's more about starting with figuring out if your goals or that thing that you're striving for are actually what you want. Is the Series B and all the pressures that come with it, for example, you just referred to that. Is that what you want, what the company needs? Is that new shiny car something you actually want? Or like you said, are you doing it to keep up with the Joneses? So I think that's a good way to litmus test it a little bit. But your point is valid because it's like we are always striving. We are people that will strive and wanna have some forward momentum, even if it's not we're not sure what that is. So, I don't know the answer to it, but I do know, like, living in the present or trying to.
Trying to.
It's so hard, but it's
So hard.
so good.
It's so good. And it's so hard. I can say that over and over again.
It's so good. It's so hard.
Because that's kind of where I do think that it is very interesting to think about what is the level of forward thinking that is appropriate and healthy without taking away from living in the present. Like I do have
Ooh.
goals. I do have goals, and I think that they're important to be able to live consciously in the present. I'm a big fan of Atomic Habits,
Mm,
right? Which is a combination of building skills and habits today for your goals in the future.
I get that, but I also just think maybe it's because I overdosed on personal growth stuff where it's like there's always a new method, there's always a new thing. I like Atomic Habits too. I think a lot of it's great. But always a new goal, always a new thing. Strive, 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 hustle, hustle, hustle towards something. I've found it leads to burnout and is exhausting for me and a lot of people, and for you too. I've seen it happen with you too. So
What?
you're
You've
right.
been burnt out?
Oh yeah, you have. So your question is a smart one to ask, and I truly don't know the answer for it. Like how to balance the surrender we talk about, living in the moment with achieving something. With ascending toward a goal. I don't
Yeah.
know.
But I do think if we kind of go back to the concept of the arrival fallacy, do you think that most people understand this concept? Because I do think that there is probably some aspect of success with it to some people. And they're like, well, I need to have X amount in the bank to feel safe. And maybe it's not like when they hit the goal, maybe it's halfway, something like that. Like what does signal happiness? Is it seeing the progression?
Well, according to the gap and the gain, yes, it is looking back
Yeah.
and seeing your progression. It's interesting you say safety because I think a lot of people safety and security, i.e., the opposite being insecurity, are wrapped up in the same kind of bubble to me. So I think a lot of people are doing things in this world or striving for the things in this world to feel safe or less insecure. And I think they're very similar. So again, it goes back to my question is like why we're reaching for that stuff. If you want financial security so you never have to, rely on somebody else and you're always taken care of and if something ever happens your bills are paid, amazing. That's awesome. But if you really really want it because your neighbors next door have fuck you money and you need that too, I don't know. Maybe there's a little rub there that you should consider.
So it's getting in touch with the why
I think
behind the goals.
yeah, that's how I feel
Feels like a
about
lot of work.
it. It does feel like everything's a lot of fucking work in this world.
It feels like a lot of work to get to that,
Oh,
like, clear, and I guess that just takes time.
yeah. Everything takes time.
When have you experienced the arrival fallacy?
Well, like I said, I'm not a huge goal-oriented person. I've learned and I hate to position it that way because I am an achiever. But I mean, publishing my first book, it was back when chick lit was a really big deal. All these books were coming out, The Devil Wears Prada, The Nanny Diaries, all these like really big books. And our book was supposed to be kind of the next big thing in that genre, and we were on a book tour all over the place, and it was just this whole big wild experience, and the book sold really, really well. It was a mid-list bestseller, but it was not to that level by any means, and then it was like, "Oh, there's more work to be done here. There's
Right.
more to do here," you know? So, and lots of other things too. I I really, really, really have learned in recent years that, we started talking about this, like you said, with the joy is in the journey. There's a lot of truth to that. There really is, like the little things along the way.
And another question that's coming to me is, do you think that everybody experiences this phenomenon, or is it a certain type of driving persona?
That's such a great question. I can't say everybody does. I think people experience it in different ways. So, like we talked about, there's the you that has true goals. You're going for them, achieve those goals. Then there are people that are doing things to keep up with the Joneses, for example. What do you think? Because
I don't know the answer.
I know.
I do think that there are people that maybe their goals are less solid or less finite,
Mhm.
in which case maybe like if you have a goal to just like have a happy life
Mm,
and, be a good parent or be a good friend. Like those feel like they don't fall into the arrival fallacy. I think that
Mm.
the arrival fallacy is specific for finite goals of when I get engaged, I'll be happy, right? And it ties happiness to a specific event.
I think using the word event or goal or acquisition, like, I think goal maybe is what is throwing me off a little bit because maybe it's like destination or like a
Yeah.
very firm destination. Because a goal, I feel like with a goal, you can keep evolving it a little bit. Like my goal is to be, the founder of a $100 million company or whatever. But you can kind of get close to that without achieving that exact goal and be happy with it. But I think like destination, a firm destination, like is more what we're talking about
I think
here.
so too. I think this is also why founders struggle with this like, at an outsized
So hard. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So founders out
as that
there.
goal keeps moving, keeps changing. There's never enough money, right?
Mm.
There's always more money that can drop to the bottom line.
Oh God, I know. What
The
we
share
feel
price
you.
can always go up.
Yes, totally. And if this
Can always
is you out there, we really feel your pain and we're pulling for you, pals.
We are. It's a tough one. I'm glad that we talked about this one today.
Me too.
Do you think that you have any good positive ways that we can end today's podcast, Leanne?
I do.
You do. You want to try it again? How would you like to try and have an outro?
I think I'd like to say, why did I just clear
I
my
think that
throat?
maybe we shouldn't say anything.
Well, I think we should say, well, thanks for stepping into. No, that sounds weird.
It sounds weird.
Uh, thank you.
What if it just ended at the right time?
Just with silence.
Cut to black.
That's
Cut to bloopers.
kinda
Cut to
creepy.
credits.
I feel like people are gonna think, I don't know what, that the aliens took over New York City and the power went out and we got kidnapped.
Well, that's great. Leave them with mystery.
Ratings.
Leave them with an air of mystery.
I don't know.
It was a great conversation.
was a
I hope you'll join us for the next.
Okay, you just nailed it.
My brother does build crossword puzzles for the New York Times. We are a word family.
He does?
You knew this, Leanne.
I did not know he built them for the New York Times. That's amazing. You gotta be an absolute genius to do that.
Yeah, we're currently playing the new crossplay game from the New York
Fun.
Times.
Yeah.
He gives me 160 points.
Lead head start.
Yeah.
Oh, you're good at games.
And I don't win.
Wait, let's say your outro again one more time.
We hope you'll join us for the next.
Thank you for listening and watching today. We hope
You'll join us for the next.
one more time. Thank you for
Like
listening.
now with that voice. Like, can you just like say it normally? Like the same voice that we're having the podcast with.
Thank you for listening and
Look
watching.
at me and say
Okay.
it.
Thank you for listening and watching today.
We hope you'll join us for the next. Now let's flip it and I'll say,
Okay.
thank you for joining and listening today.
We hope you join us.
No. It's like a weird, you like a shoulder shrug. It's like, I don't know what's happening.
I just ate the microphone.
Okay.
All right, one
gotta
more
go.
time. Okay, I gotta go too. Thank you for joining us and listening and watching today.
We hope you'll join us for the
I
next.
just
And I need a new partner. I gotta go.
bye.